So welcome to today's practice and happy Halloween. Usually on Halloween, we end with the eating meditation. But I didn't go to the store yesterday, so we're not doing that today. So I'm going to tell you how the eating meditation goes so that when you're handing out candy or you're wanting to have a piece of candy or a piece of fruit today, then you can do it this particular way, okay? Hi there. We're going to go against a wall and we're going to use a looped strap, blocks, bolster, blankets. And we have straps already looped up here for you if you want one of these. So what we're going to, the eating meditation. So yes, later to eating meditation. When you're opening up that piece of candy, the idea with the eating meditation is to use all of the senses. So basically what you're doing is you're looking at the packaging, right? You're seeing the foil that's wrapped around the candy. Or if you're eating a piece of fruit, you know, you're just looking at the shape of the fruit, the color of the fruit, the texture of the fruit. And then when you start to peel the orange, or you start to peel the foil off the candy, you're listening. You're listening to that sound. You know, like when you're peeling an orange, and then you get like little, your sound that comes from it. You may even get a little juice popping up to your cheek. And then you sniff it, you smell it. And then you lick it with your tongue. And you start to notice when you close your eyes after checking in with all of your senses, you start to notice how your body's responding. And you're going to notice that your mouth starts to really salivate because now your body's sensing it and it's desiring it and it's wanting it. But then to continue the eating meditation, you stay mindful with it and you take just one small bite. And when you take the small bite of the fruit or the piece of candy, you let it just sit in your mouth instead of chewing it right away. And you just, again, watching your body's response, paying attention to maybe how your stomach's feeling, how your mouth is feeling, what your brain is thinking while you're just holding it there. And if you've got like a Hershey Kiss, it'll just start to melt. And then you can chew, but you chew slowly. And when you're chewing slowly, you're chewing it to the point where it becomes completely liquefied. With the orange, that's easy because it's mostly juice. But with something more solid, say a Snicker bar, right? You're going to have to chew the nuts. You're going to have to let the caramel kind of seep in with it all. And you're going to let it completely liquefy and then you swallow. And then you take a nut. And basically, when you're continuing to eat it, then you start to think, what were the ingredients? You don't have to read the wrapper, but just think about the general ingredients. Think about the general farms and the people who harvest it. Think about the factories. Think about the people working in the factories. Think about the people loading up the packaging into the boxes, into the trucks, the truck drivers, the people in the grocery stores or in Walgreens, restocking the shelves. How many hands it's passed through to get to you, and have all of that gratitude and appreciation for the entire process. And if you do that, you're not going to overindulge. You feel sick later. But I always like to do an eating meditation on Halloween. The kids, are in high school. They didn't want to do anything. They're over it. And of course, when the weekend came, they're like, what are we going to do? We need to celebrate Halloween. And so we had to keep coming up with stuff. So yeah, that's where my weekend went. So what I want to focus on today is the dancer pose, which is not gentle, but we're still going to do it anyway. We're going to try it, okay? And you may be confident in it, you may not be confident in it, but we are going to be using a wall and we will be building up for it. We're going to be using the strap for it. So it's not about getting the foot to the head, right? We're not doing all that. But the depiction I wanted to visually show you, and you can just kind of picture it now in your mind's eye, because some of you have seen it before, is the dancing Shiva. So that Shiva, that's dancing, he's usually depicted dancing, you know, his arms are up, one leg is up, his hair is all wild, right? And he's surrounded by a ring of fire. And Shiva represents the energy of transformation. And so within this transformative ring of fire, it actually represents what's called the Ananda Tandava, which is the cosmic dance or the dance of bliss. And Shiva is considered the Lord of the dancers. And so it's a dance between creation and dissolution. It's a dance between polarity and or duality and non-duality, right? It's that whole feeling of being unionized, like a state of union, or feeling separate. It's like this dance between. So we're building up to the dancer pose with that depiction of Shiva when he's dancing. If you look at it closely, he's standing on, and I know this isn't a proper political term, but this is what it's called in the old text, a dwarf. And he has a particular name, but that represents and is symbolic of Maya or illusion. It's symbolic of not just illusion, but ignorance. And it's the idea that we can stomp out illusion and ignorance that blocks us and blocks humanity from being able to see the truth, from being able to see reality for what it is. And I thought it was very interesting that this happens to come up this week. And last week we opened up with Ganesh and the missing tusk. And his missing tusk was taken off because it represented duality, which creates division and drama and gets us emotionally charged. He holds on to the wisdom that can go above and beyond it. And I was talking last week about how important that message is even for today. And I feel like this message with Shiva is just as important as that message from last week. And both of these, not ironically, they've come up in different ways for me to be able to teach, not thinking about the fact that we have an election coming up and how politics, not just in our nation, but all over the world, is completely polarized, divided, and creating lots of drama and a lot of emotional charge. And as yogis, what we're trying to do is neutralize that charge. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, that means yoga is the neutralization of the whirlpools of emotion. We have to neutralize it. We have to find the middle way. In Buddhism, they call it the middle way. And I heard this beautiful, I guess a podcast this morning, and she was channeling an angel at the time, and the angel was actually mentioning the fact that we're having this election coming up and how people tend to look at things as black or white or red or blue. But can we find the middle way? Can we see the gray area in between and see that I love this, you guys hear it. Find the silver lining within the gray. And I thought, whoa, that's cool. Can we find the silver lining in the gray in the middle ground? Wouldn't that be nice? So it's important for us to provide that for ourselves, for our families, for our communities, so that we can affect the world this way. We're going to start legs up the wall because we need the hamstrings to open. So we're going to be in a side fetal position in order to roll onto the mat and send the legs up the wall. Your hands can take residence on your belly. And for a moment, just have your eyes open. Ideally, your sits bones should be more flush against the wall. However, if that's too much for your hamstrings and it's making you bend your knees, then you want to shimmy back a bit, okay? So don't force the sit bones to be flush to the wall. Go ahead and flex your ankles. Push up through your heels, feel down through your toes, feel that activation of your leg muscles. And look at your legs and feet and make sure they're parallel. And then you can soften the feet. And now, close the eyes. And start your breath work. Purposely breathing in and out through the nose in a conscious, controlled manner. Allow the breath to purify your lungs, your mind, your body, your heart, and your soul. As you continue to breathe with depth and control, I'm going to share a story some of you have heard before, and it's a true story. There was a family taken to Auschwitz, a concentration camp during World War II. Within this family was a young girl. And through all the horror that she was witnessing at the camp, she was able to close her eyes, to imagine a beautiful piece of music playing and herself dancing to the music. And her being able to withdraw away from what was happening externally, to create her own reality internally, was the way she survived. And she was able to thrive afterwards and even wrote a book about her experience. So in these first few moments, I want you to be like that little girl, not in the same situation, obviously, but be internal to the point where you picture yourself dancing. It could be wild, with complete abandonment and tribal. You could picture it as a loving act between you and your lover. You could picture yourself square dancing in a barn, or lit up at a rave. But imagine yourself dancing with a state of ecstatic bliss. Now, on your next inhalation, begin to crack the eyelids open. And when you're ready, see if it's possible to bring the right leg a little closer towards your face. See if it's possible to hook your hands behind your right leg. Maybe the thigh, maybe the calf. Maybe you can even reach the foot. Hold for just a couple more breaths. And then release it back to the surface. Take a deep breath in. And then glide the left leg closer to the face. Hook your hands behind your thigh, up to your calf, maybe to the foot. Seeing if you can develop a deeper stretch for the back of the leg. Good, now gently release it back to the surface. Slide your feet about hip distance apart. And then bend the knees so the feet are coming down the wall. Toes are gonna turn out, left and right. The knees are gonna flop open and you're still anchored on the sacrum. This is opening up the inner thighs, creating some external rotation for the hips. Giving a light stretch to the low back. Continue to explore deep abdominal breaths. Now let's slide the feet together. Keep bending the knees open and apart. So you're in Baddha Konasana, the cobbler pose. This pose is good for bringing blood flow to the reproductive organs. To the bladder. You may feel more sensation through the inner thighs. Stay calmly aware and alert through your breath. Affirming here as you hold. Secure in myself, I accept whatever is. Secure in myself, I accept whatever is. So think about that affirmation. If you're invested in politics right now, if your person doesn't win. All right, draw the knees back towards each other and roll over to your left lunar side. All right, we're gonna come to a place where we're on the belly, but the shins and the feet are lifting up the wall. So for the majority of us, we may be able to have the knees resting against the wall like the sits bones were, but Trisha, just be careful. Looks like you can do it great though. Great. So we've got the shins up the wall. We're gonna prop onto forearms like Sphinx. So have your upper arm bones lined up perpendicular to the floor, root down through your elbows, fly up through your heart, up through the top of the head. Doing this form of Sphinx. Now, if this aggravates your low back whatsoever, please know you can walk the elbows forward, drop lower to your chest, and rest in prayer hands, or you might be able to just slide your forearms out to sink a little lower. But here you want to extend long through the neck. And it's okay to angle the head in different positions so that you have a certain gaze set with your eyes. We're bringing the prana up to the heart. We're helping to strengthen the back. And we're just lightly and gently opening up the quads. Nothing too severe. However, we're going to try to take it deeper. So if you turn your left forearm now in front of you and slowly turn your gaze over the right shoulder, see if it's possible to take the hand to the top of the right foot and maybe pull it down towards your outer thigh. If that's a strain or if you can't find your foot, leave it out. We're turning back to face the front anyway. If you enjoy the twist, it's okay to stay in the twist. This is a form of frog. Good, gently release. Bring the right forearm in front, set the right foot back to the wall. Gaze over the left shoulder, maybe finding the top of that foot, pulling it gently downward. If you can't find the foot, don't strain, don't worry about it, just stay as you were. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Good, and gently release that foot. Good, once you release that foot, we're gonna lower down to the brow. And once you lower down to the brow, I want you to bring your hands up underneath your shoulders and see if you can push up onto the stilts of the arms. So it's like you're doing swan pose. It's similar to up dog. That's it. Take one last deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently roll back down. Beautiful. Send your left arm forward. And then roll to your left side. Bring the feet down the wall. Tuck the knees in, and then you can come into a tabletop position on the mat. If that works for you. Okay, so you can't be on your knees. I just remember that. So grab a chair from the back hallway. And then I'll show you something to do when you get back with the chair. The rest of us, we're gonna take this blanket and we're gonna fold it up so it's thicker. And we're gonna set it next to the wall. And you're gonna bring your blocks in. So the right knee is gonna stack on the blanket with the foot going up the wall behind your back. Standing the hands on top of the blocks, you're gonna be able to hopefully step that left foot forward into king altar pose. Dropping and sinking down through your hips. So you're flat on the left foot in this lunge. And if it's too much to be higher, sometimes it's a little easier to go lower. So just play with that, see what works. Okay, so what you're gonna do with the chair, you're gonna be here. Like this, okay? Okay. Toes tucked. So you're in a half lunge too. Is it possible to step that? Yeah, step the foot back. Yeah, like that. That's it. All right, can you feel it? You're stretching out the quads. What we're really trying to target as well is the front side of this hip. So those hip flexors are going to help us to be able to back bend in that dancer's pose. All right, one more deep breath. And then we're going to swap sides. So when we swap sides, the left knee will transfer to the blanket, foot up the wall, and the right foot will step forward. Again, you can use your blocks. Hold the back of the chair. Get the spine up. This one's bent. This one can be a little intense, but it's a great prep for where we're headed today. All right, just a couple more. How's it feel? Good, when you're ready, you're gonna back the hips up. And we're gonna gently, slowly, cautiously come out. Send your blocks towards the top edge of the mat. And you can move this blanket away. And we're gonna come up to stand. Your strap is also gonna be close to the top of the mat. And we're gonna stand all the way up. And look down at your feet. Rock back and forth between your heels and the balls of the feet, spreading the toes nice and wide. And draw your hands in prayer position at your hearts. As you inhale, let the arms circle wide and up overhead. And as you exhale, begin to slowly come down to your Uttanasana, your standing forward fold. Getting a little deeper bit of a hamstring stretch in Uttanasana. Affirming here as you hold, nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back. As you inhale, bring your hands to your shins, let your belly release and let your head and heart lift. So you're creating just a slight back bend. Good, exhale, pour down, hands can slide back towards the feet. Inhale, root down to come all the way up. This time you're gonna shift your thighs and hips forward. You're gonna lift through your floating ribs. You're gonna back bend, gaze up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, hands together, humbly bow again. Once you form your Uttanasana, let your head go, loosen up your neck, but tip your weight forward towards your toes. Now take a hold of your blocks. Inhale, step your left foot way back. And when you step that left foot way back, you can be here. Or you can set the back knee to the floor. Now I'm gonna set my back knee to the floor. Check in to see if you need any extra padding there. And then when you're ready, inhale, coming up, rooting the right foot, lifting the arms up overhead. So, you can still use the chair for that to stabilize. Okay, so bring the hands. So what you can do is you can do the one first. Okay. Yeah. If you need to stay. All right, take one last deep breath in here. And then inhale, shoot up through the pelvic floor, up to the navel, up to the heart center. And you can just use the chair, Trisha. I don't want you to lose your balance. Okay. And then we're gonna arch back. Your surgery was in the left knee, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, exhale, bring the hands down. All right, now when you're ready, you're gonna rock back with your hips. And then you're gonna come back into the knee. So that's what you're doing it great, Trisha. So you just straighten out the front leg and then you can lunge that knee. We're just rocking back and forth. That's it, just casual and gently. All right, the next time you lunge forward into that front knee, we're gonna curl the back toes under. We're gonna pluck the back knee off the floor. We're gonna turn and press the back heel down. We're gonna take the left arm up, then the right hand will float up to warrior two. Open up that front thigh so you have a clear vision of the big toe. Let your arms radiate to either side of the room. Look down the front fingertips and breathe. Affirming here, I joyfully manifest the power of my own strength. Good, as you exhale, bring the right hand down, then the left to the block, spin off the back heel, spring the back foot forward, and then close back into your Uttanasana. Inhale, root down to soar all the way back up to stand. Let your arms frame your face, gently back bending. Your hips and thighs are shifting forward. You're going back. And then exhale, lower back in, Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway, but allow there to be a little bitty back bend. And then exhale, flow back into self. On your next in-breath, let's go ahead and step the right foot back this time. When the right foot steps back, that's when you can lower the back knee. This is different side, right? Yes. Okay, good. Just checking. I've gotten up and walked around and I'm like, what are we doing? Okay, push down through the left foot, drop to the pelvic floor. See if you can soar the arms up overhead. Holding, breathing, stacking each vertebra. Good, exhale, lower back down. All right, this time we're gonna come up. Inhale, coming up. Maybe seeing if we can do a little bit of a back bend, heart opening position here. And then exhale, hands down. And then we're gonna shift back and forth. Casually straightening out the front leg, re-lunging the knee. Good, this time we're gonna come through to the half lunge, curl the back toes, pluck up the back knee, spiral down to the back heel, lifting the right arm, then the left. Reaching out through the arms and hands, lunging the knee, rolling open through both hips. Virabhadrasana 2. Affirming, I joyfully manifest the strength and perseverance within. Exhale, bring the left hand down, then the right, spin off the back heel. We're gonna take a vinyasa, so lose the blocks. Step into your plank. From your plank position, be here, be strong through your upper body. Exhale, sail your hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're gonna do one more of those. Inhale, forward to plank. Shoulders, elbows, wrists stacking. Good, exhaling, downward facing dog. I'll be here for 3 breaths. Looking at things in a different light, in a different way, from a different vantage point. When we do that, it can broaden our perspective. It can expand our minds, it can expand our hearts. So we're not so limited in our thinking. All right, when you're ready, inhale, come forward, plank, and just casually make your way down, down, down to the abdomen. And then Trisha, just find your way slowly down to your belly. Take your time and I'll move the chair so you don't get into it. We're gonna make this work. All right, from here, you're gonna extend your arms out in front of you. And on the in breath, we're lifting right arm, left leg, head and chest. So half locust. Good, exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, left arm, head, chest, right leg lifts. Good, exhale, descend. Keep this going, opposite limbs. You're rising on the inhale, coming down on the exhale. One more to each side. Good. Now, Trish, you're going to want to cross your arms and come to crocodile. And the rest of us are going to slide the hands up underneath the shoulders, push up and back into extended child's pose, where you're resting over your lap, but your arms are outstretched in front of you. Feel the traction you're gaining through your back. The work you're getting in the pits of the arms. Firm. And now relax and release away from all outer involvements into my own energy of peace. Inhale, rock up to hands and knees, take downward facing dog. You may want to challenge yourself and lift to plank, and then go to downward facing dog. Whatever's in your wheelhouse. Pressing into the palms, shooting up and back through the sacrum, drawing your thighs in, powering them back, looking back at that space between the big toes. Now inhale, slowly stepping the feet forward towards the top of the mat, peeling your hands up along the way if need be, to fold into your Uttanasana. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, release down. Inhale, coming all the way up to the top. Take that gentle back bend one more round. And then exhale, hands come back to the heart. All right, we're going to use our strap. So find your strap. Keep the loop in it, but fold it in half. We're going to use the loop later. Now that the strap is folded in half, you're going to take it behind your back. You're going to hold it in between your thumb and index fingers. So when you roll and loop the shoulders back, straighten your arms out and lift the hands away from your body. Feel your heart expanding. Now look down at your feet. Make sure the toes are facing forward. And Trish, you may just want to stay up like this, just work the shoulders. The rest of us are going to bend the knees, shoot the hips back, and maybe fold over the bent knees. Arms lifting up, head bowing down, breath staying full. Now reach your feet, lower the hands towards the buttocks. Use the strength of your legs to slowly build right back up to stand. And then unfold that strap. Keep the loop in it, but you're going to take it over the left shoulder so it's hanging down your back. All right, I'll turn my back to you for a second. Left arm's going to lift up, turn the palm to face the wall behind you so you can grab the strap. All right, once you have that, we're going to take the free hand and we're going to tuck that elbow closer towards the side of the face. Good, now take that right hand behind your back and you're going to find the strap that's hanging down and you're going to walk it up. Continue to walk it up, walk it up, walk it up as much as you can without losing the positioning of your legs and feet and ensuring that you're not tucking the tailbone. And breathe. Close your eyes. This is Gomukhasana arms, a great prep for dancer pose. Affirming here, free in my heart. I choose to live without fear. Free in my heart, I choose faith over fear. If we choose faith over fear, we can be like that little girl, we can escape to a place that's going to bring us the bliss. How can we provide the bliss internally that is not reliant on the outside? All right, let's slide the right hand down and let's bring the strap over now to the right shoulder. Again, let it hang down to the low end of the back because that's where we'll need to catch it. Right arm reaches up, palm turns away. Find the strap. Use your free hand. Tuck that arm in because it's going to want to flop out. And then allow the free hand to now go behind the back and slide or walk it upstream. Standing tall and attentive. Feel free to close your eyes. Most importantly, open up the breath of life. Gently release the hands and the strap. tree pose. So Tricia, you need to use the wall to hold. For balance sake, you can. If anybody else needs to join her, that's okay too. We're gonna walk the right foot forward. And we're gonna spread out the toes and then shift the weight onto that foot. Feel the leg bones stacking, the muscles engaging, and then open up the left knee. Let the heel rest above the other ankle. If you need this particular stance, be here. If you want to slide it to the calf, be there. Just no pressure on the knee. So go above or below the knee. You can also bring it to the upper thigh, Vrikshasana tree. Your hands can be set to prayer position at the heart. You may want to lift them overhead. If you're using one hand to hold the wall, you can have half namaste at the heart. And breathe. Find somewhere to concentrate your eyes. And bring your hands down and slip the foot down. All right, let's step forward slightly with that left foot, broaden the base of the foot, and then you can open up from the hip. Maybe this is your tree today. Maybe it's up the calf, maybe it's up to the thigh. Maybe your mudra is at your heart. Maybe it's up above. Firm and calm and poised. Hands down. Foot down. All right, we're all going to move to the wall. With our right side facing the wall, not leaning. Okay, the only thing that's touching the wall is going to be the right hand. So we're going to take the right hand back behind us. Root the feet, stand tall with your posture. Eyes can be open or shut, but notice if the tension starts to swell in your throat, your jaw, your mouth, your face. If it does, try to let that go. Let's take a cleansing breath before we turn to the other side. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let your right hand slide down. Turn your body. Look down at your feet. So you should have Tadasana form in your legs. And the only portion of the body touching the wall is when your left hand slides up behind you. You can really do it at any height. I usually say shoulder height, but some people like to go higher. Some people need to go lower. So just determine that based on your experience, what you're sensing inside. Lift through the breastbone, lift through the crown. Stay focused on your breath. And the cleansing breath, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. All right, slide that hand down. All right, now we're going to try to go for it. We're going to get this strap that has the loop. I tell this story on occasion, but I had a woman years ago who came in with a prosthetic leg. And we were building up to this pose. She rocked it on both sides with a prosthetic leg. So look, we have our limbs. So let that story inspire you, or you can opt out, because Denny's like, I'm good. And that's okay too. So this is, let me demo it first, because we're gonna use, remember how I said, when you're standing against the wall, only your hand should touch? Same application here, only your arm should touch. So your arm lifting up can touch the wall, and your elbow can keep you balanced, okay? So this is what it looks like. We're gonna be looping the strap around the outer foot. And then we bring the elbow up close to the ear, very similar to Gomukhasana arms, right? Then this arm slides up. And we take the strap up. This is good, however, there's more. You can hinge forward from your hips, but keep your face and heart lifting and opening towards what's in front of you. Now to come out, this is really important. To come out, you just loosen the strap and the foot comes down. Okay, let's try it out. Stand with your left side facing the wall. Loop around the right foot. And then that knee drops as the right arm circles up and alongside the ear. Sorry, you can't see. Yeah. So from here. Then you come here. And then this arm. Good. You can walk your hand down the strap. You can shift forward from your hips, and then you really blossom open through the heart. Trisha? Yeah. Just be careful. Okay. Since that's your knee, I would say straight up. Don't even try to pinch. Okay. Just let that be enough. Okay. Yes. Good, exhale, let's release the grip of the strap, bring the foot down and lower. Okay, so now your knee is going to be the standing leg. Okay. Yep. I wouldn't hinge forward today. Let your knee completely heal first. Okay. All right, we're gonna take the strap to the left foot, bring it around, arm up. Right arm up, find the strap. And again, you can walk the hands down the strap if you're more flexible through the spine. You can hinge forward from your hips. And you're looking forward now. Let your right arm help you to balance. Just like your strong standing leg is helping you to balance. Beautiful. King dancer pose. Good, when you're ready. Yeah, just let it go. Come on out. And how do you feel like joining Denny? So, join Denny. You can actually use the chair if you want, like I did last week, the legs up. So you can do what he's doing. However, we're going to do a different pose before we completely get into that. So if you wanted Stonehenge, for instance, this is what I'm going to use. 2 blocks with the holster on top. We're lower to our back. We're going to shift our calves on top. And your arms out. Close your eyes. So I want you to consider, how we were opening up the body today. We were opening up the quads. We were opening up the front of the hips. We're opening up the heart and the back ribs. And with the shoulder work. So this will be a nice counter, right? Because now the Hips are getting more in the flexion versus the extension. You're letting go of the back bending and letting your back be flatter to the floor. Allowing your arms to rest. I want you to think for a moment how there's so many similar patterns that show up in nature. Just think of the sun, the moon, the planets having a similar shape, yet different sizes. Consider how the spiral shows up in nature, the shells. How even the palms of our hands can look very similar to the veins on a leaf. Science has been developing a theory that all of creation has similar fundamental designs. But yoga has always said this, that the microcosm and macrocosm are the same. Even though things might appear to be random, science is discovering there's organization, there is structure. So can we look at creation as being a dance? A cosmic dance guided by divine intelligence. Then I want you to start to notice as you're being reflective, as you're observing and noticing the river of thoughts that flow in the mind. Notice if you see a pattern. Sometimes these patterns are in our favor, supporting us, uplifting us. And at other times, we might notice a pattern that's detrimental to us. Maintain the pattern that keeps you on the right track. And let go of the ones that want to derail you. This is the practice. 3 more breaths. Gently start to hug your knees in towards your belly and chest. Roll over to your right side. Push down to your left palm. If you want to sit on your bolster, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Sitting upright. Eyes closed. Just noticing the state of your mind and body. Whether or not you feel more whole. Hopefully feeling more connected within. Remember, the pinnacle of yoga is meditation. So if you really want to come into that more neutralized state and less polarized, meditation is more powerful than these physical asanas. So let's sit for at least a moment in silence together. And I would encourage you to build up to at least 15 minutes a day on your own. Joining your hands to prayer. Meditation can be the key to health and happiness. I hope this encourages you to meditate more. Remember, since it's Halloween, get some candy this evening to try the eating meditation so that your yoga continues when you depart. And you're applying it to other areas in your life. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.